Well, the mining sector has urged government, to rely on business to resuscitate the COVID-19-hit economy. The sector is hosting its annual 27th Virtual Mining Indaba in Cape Town. This year's theme is resilience and growth, adopting a new mindset for Africa's mining industry. Well, to discuss how the industry is planning to play its part in reviving the strained economy, we're joined by Investec's Marnus Terblanche. Marnus, good morning. Thank you very much. You're one of those people, I'm sure, who was looking forward to this mining Indaba and to find out what discussions are going to be there, because from an Investec perspective, investing in African mining is a very important part of what you do. Yesterday, the president opened the Indaba and promising things like policy certainty and praising the mining sector for its resilience despite the challenges brought on by COVID-19. You attended yesterday's sessions. In your view, what has come out that is very useful from yesterday's discussions?
Yes, Dan. Yeah, I think first of all, it's a very different Indaba to prior years. Yeah, it's all virtual events, so there's no mad rush to get out to Cape Town, so I think it works well for a number of people. And I think you sort of touch on the key theme, the resilience and regrowth. And some of the key themes that came out in the President's address, which was of interest, is talking about the international opportunity for investment in South Africa, specifically the PGM sector, and as that plays a role in the transition to energy demand. And also, one of the key points is what the government's doing in supporting power generation by mining companies. But I think the key standout for me, Dan, was based on the fact that there was a session on ESG investing in a COVID-recovered world, which happened on the first day of the Mining Indaba. And for those of the people that attend Mining Indaba on a regular basis, they'll know that these type of discussions normally happen on day 3 or 4. So I think that was quite pertinent, and it talks to the theme, how important ESG is becoming, and specifically in the backdrop of COVID.
Why does the fact that the ESG discussion happened on day 1, very significant? Yeah,
I think first of all, there's a renewed focus on ESG, the green economy, electrification and decarbonisation, it's come to the fore, and it's on the tip of everyone's tongue, and one of the first points on any discussion when we talk to investors, companies and providers of capital. I think from the mining sector specifically, they play an important role in these themes like ESG and decarbonisation. I think first of all, mining companies supply key ingredients, key materials that is needed for the infrastructure and delivering on a lot of companies and governments' stated goals on ESG. I think that's the first point where the mining company plays a role. And second of all, the mining industry is also an emitter of greenhouse gases. So, they need to play a role. They need to make sure that they are able to provide the industry with resources in a sustainable and cost-effective manner in order to meet the demand and to deliver on key promises.
Yeah, we know how much South Africa's mining industry contributes to the GDP. And this is an African mining Indaba. We know how big mining is in several countries on the continent. But President calling for investment in the sector, we haven't seen that much of a rush in coming into South Africa. I mean, we've seen some mining companies closing down. There's been job losses recently. Is the message that is coming through this Indaba for making the case for investing in the post-COVID-19 world being well received?
Well, I think it is. I think it even started before that. I think we're seeing specifically companies and commodities that plays into the key theme. Copper of the the PGMs of the world that plays into this, and iron ore and aluminium that is required to build the infrastructure. I think some of those companies and commodities are seeing interest. I think the key challenge is always implementation. I think what we need to see further from governments all around Africa is the creation of further policy certainty and a clear framework in which to operate. So we're seeing optimism. We're seeing money seeking a home, and we're hoping that it follows through, and that between government and the actual producers, they can deliver on providing investors seeking opportunities to invest with a credible investment opportunity.
Thank you very much, Marnus Terblanche from Investec, giving us some of his insights about the current 27th annual Investing in Africa Mining Indaba, which is set to officially conclude today, but there'll be more discussions during the rest of the week.